Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast was set in mid-1700s France. Mm-hmm. It's based on a story by Jean-Marie Le Prince de Beaumont. I'm so sorry about that name. The way that I said it is hard. It's rough.
You're going to get so judged for that one.
Yeah, you know what?
No offense,
I'm not French. I'm sorry. Like, if you want to give me a pronunciation guide, go for it. In the meantime, I'm saying it like I say it. It was released September 29th of 1991. Mm-hmm. Something that I just want to bring up about the movie before we start talking about the characters is something that I hear a lot about this movie is that they bring up that it's a classic case of Stockholm Syndrome.
Wrong.
That's very wrong.
Wrong.
By all the definitions of Stockholm Syndrome, it's
the opposite.
Just not true. First of all, he lets her go. You don't, if he lets her go and she comes, like, that's not.
This wasn't a case of the captured falling in love with their capturer. It was very much the opposite. It was the beast who fell in love with Belle.
Exactly.
There's an actual name for that. I can't remember the name of what syndrome that's called, but there's an actual thing where the person who kidnapped you is the one who falls in love with the person they kidnapped, and not the other way around. Because he then purposefully changes everything about himself that he realizes is negative. She doesn't take any of his crap.
No.
At all throughout this movie until after he legitimately is a different person.
Exactly. He improves himself and he works on himself, and that's not a bad thing. You know, you can't base your whole life off of a guy or a girl or whatever, but it's not bad to look at somebody you love and say, I have been horrible to you, and I want to better myself so that I can be an asset to your life instead of a detriment.
There is such a big thing, too, with this, where people have a problem. People always say you can't change the person, and then the other way around, two people get mad when somebody doesn't change after they've done something wrong. But then when something like this happens where the person themselves is told, you're not going to do that to me, I'm not going to let you do that, and you're not going to get away with it, they take that to heart and actually change themselves using that information and using their own view of how they've been and actually changes. That's a very good and mature thing for someone to be able to do in their life.
Exactly. The whole thing behind you can't change someone is more so that, like, for example, I couldn't force you to change. That's not going to happen. But that doesn't mean that people don't change. That doesn't mean that someone can't seek to better themselves for the sake of someone around them. And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Especially when it's actually negative parts of their personality that they are changing.
And that they're working on. Like, he learned and grew from knowing her.
Harry is giving me such a look right now.
It's like Mom always said, if you love something, capture it and then eventually let it go, hoping that it'll love you back.
Okay, here's the thing. He technically didn't kidnap her. He kidnapped her father, and she came and put herself in his house to rescue her father.
She very much did this to herself.
She did. She did it willingly. She did it knowingly.
For her father.
For her father.
I will.
He was not sickly.
I know, I'm throwing that in. Was he dying? Let's say he was dying.
They basing this off the live action version. He saw Rose, tried to take it, and the beast got pissed.
Well, no, that's we're going off the cartoon version. We're going off the animated, the original.
Yeah.
He definitely tried to steal from the beast.
Yep.
And the beast overreacted. Yeah, but the beast was also a prince. Like, that time, the prince is allowed to, like, cut your head off for looking at him wrong.
He was literally raised as a pompous little prince. He was a Draco Malfoy.
He was.
Okay,
with a country rule.
So the whole reason he's turned into a beast is because he wouldn't let a stranger into his house.
He's a
that
dick.
bothered me.
Okay, look, he's a dick. Yeah.
He was 11.
Yeah, he's basically a child.
He's Draco Malfoy in books 1 through 5.
I'm sorry. No, during okay, because here's the thing. Okay, let's talk about that when we get to the beast. But that's just something I wanted to bring up before we even started talking about the characters. It's not Stockholm syndrome, and their relationship up until the ones that we've talked about, the like traditional Disney princesses, is the most strong, stable foundation for a relationship because they are actually shown getting to know one another, and learning to like each other, and learning about all their faults and their hurts and their bad parts too. And it always bothered me that people like dump on their relationship like that because they are some of the strongest foundations of a relationship that I've seen in Disney.
The only one I will accept that people say about this relationship is the level of bestiality.
No, because
that seemingly happens in this relationship.
He turns back into a person before anything happens between them, sir.
They were definitely falling in love while he was still a beast. Don't give me that crap.
She loved him as a beast and then was like, oh, you're human?
She loved the man in spite of the beast. You rude shit.
So all I'm going to say is if anybody has that judgment towards this movie, I will accept that judgment about this movie.
Shut the fuck up.
All I'm going to say.
Y'all are horrible. Y'all are horrible. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to get started. Belle. And I will say too, the ages, Belle is 17 in this and the prince is 21. So again, pretty acceptable age range. I don't think that was too big of a difference.
That's good.
Yeah. And so for Belle is very Ravenclaw.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Like
hardcore Ravenclaw.
Hardcore Ravenclaw. She's very. She could also. The argument could be made that she's very Hermione, very Gryffindor.
Oh well, she's Hermione played her in the goddamn movie.
Okay, we're not talking about.
Are we going to talk about the live action? Because I could not watch it.
I actually liked the live action.
I liked it, but I don't think that she deserves to have a Disney princess and Hermione Granger under her belt.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's too much.
She
does not deserve it.
And I'm sorry, but Emma can't sing.
No, she
I'm
can't.
going to get bashed too, but I also don't think that she can act well enough for both those parts.
She can't.
She did better than she did in the Harry Potter films.
She did.
Well, she's
this
older.
is true.
She actually knows how to act now.
Kind of.
Like, almost nobody in the Harry Potter movies knew how to act. Any of the children were not doing great.
Yeah, let's caveat that with the children.
Kids.
The adults were all fucking
amazing.
Phenomenal.
The kids do not know how to act in those movies.
Tom Felton and Rupert Grint both did pretty good. They did
really
good
with what they were given. Tom Felton did so well that people hate him still.
Yeah, Tom Felton did really well. Rupert Grint did really well too with what he was given. Yeah, he was not given a lot. They tarnished Ron in those movies, and it upsets me. We're not talking about that right now.
No, but I'm going to point this back out to she learned how to act a little bit more, but she still does the mouth thing. Well, I think we should go to the library. She still does it.
The over-enunciation, and she still acts a lot with her eyebrows.
That's partly because she's British, and she's trying to do an American accent.
Don't you dare give me that. Don't you dare. Have you not seen
an American accent?
Was it not American in the live action? Well, I told you I didn't watch it.
No, she just over-enunciates.
That's British people. I've seen British people act
they are
with an American
very
accent
talented.
better than American actors act with an American accent.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, but no, we're talking about the animated one here. The argument could be made because she was very brave. She put herself out there for her father. She was never scared of the beast, no matter what his temper was like, all that fun stuff. So the argument, I feel like, could be made for Gryffindor as well. Just a very bookish Gryffindor.
Yeah.
I found my information on the opposite of Stockholm Syndrome. It's called Lima Syndrome. It is where the captor falls in love with the captive instead of the opposite that typically happens. So this movie is much more of an example of a Lima Syndrome than Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Okay, but yeah, so no. Hardcore Ravenclaw. First off the bat, that was easy.
We are saying because I was just saying Gryffindor.
I'm saying Ravenclaw.
I'm going Ravenclaw.
Okay, we're gonna go with Ravenclaw.
I'm like, well, she's definitely brave. She's books everything.
She's very bookish. She's very intelligent. She's
also, well, I don't know. This is me projecting onto her because I loved Belle as she's not really a princess, kind of is.
She becomes a princess
because she marries him, so she's a princess.
Very true.
So she becomes
well, technically, she becomes a queen because he's listed as a prince.
They still call him a prince, so we're gonna.
They do. So assumedly, his parents were alive for all this.
No. But
where were his parents?
That's the thing that happens sometimes in stuff that I watch too, where Dragon Ball Z is an example. There's a character called Prince Vegeta. He's definitely the only person left alive in his race. And his dad was the king. His dad's hella dead, but he's still called the prince for some reason. And so it kind of the same thing.
That doesn't make it right, though.
It doesn't make it right, but it's definitely a thing that happens. So while he's technically the king, yes, they still call him prince.
Well, yeah, but if they're calling him prince in the movies, it could be. They never say what happened to his parents. Not in the animated one, at least. It could be that his parents were on some sort of diplomatic mission and are still alive.
They've been gone the whole time he's a beast?
No,
Yeah,
maybe.
Because wasn't everybody in the village, they used to all live in the castle?
No.
Well, the people in the castle were part of the curse, but I don't
Oh, yeah, that's right. Those are the other people that came in for the party and stuff. That's right. So,
And that's in the live action.
Was that only live action?
That was the live
animated?
action,
Okay,
no.
my bad. Okay. Good to know.
So I lost track entirely of what we were saying.
What I was saying was, when I was little and watching Belle, I related to her a lot because I felt like she was more introverted. She didn't care to socialize and mingle and flirt with Gaston. She just wanted to be in her books, left alone. You know, I liked that about her, and so I think she's very.
That's very
Yeah,
reasonable,
that's
because
fair.
if she was Hermione's still very sociable.
She is. She tried to nose her way into other people's businesses, and that's the whole problem in the very beginning of the first book is that she's trying to be friends with Harry and Ron, and they're both like, "Fuck off."
Well, that's because she's such a little shit.
Oh my God, she really is. But I don't think Belle would have done that. I think Belle.
Belle would
was
have just
much
like, I don't care about any of you. I'm gonna go read my books.
Fuck off, where's the library?
I don't
Yeah.
care about you.
True. Okay, so then Ravenclaw,
Yeah.
Prince Adam,
AKA the Beast.
aka the Beast. He does
I
have
feel
a
like
name.
You guys want to put him in Slytherin then? Because I
I
don't
can
know.
see why you would say that. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you guys are comparing him to Draco, but again, this kid just learned stranger danger, don't let a witch in. That doesn't make him the worst little shit in the world.
No,
He
that's
was
the whole
definitely
thing.
a product of his parentage.
That's not even the thing, especially in the animated, because we're talking about the animated one.
Yeah, no, I get you.
He was 11 years old
Yeah.
and didn't let a strange woman into his home, and so she cursed him to be a beast. Like,
Oh no, she's
the
definitely
witch is definitely the bad guy.
She's definitely the bad guy in this situation.
The witch is the bad guy in this movie.
If he was an adult and did that because she came up to them as an old lady, not as the goddess-looking creature that she actually is, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I get it. He did what I think Snow White should have done. When an obviously evil old woman is walking up to your house.
Yeah. Opposing messages, Disney.
This is exactly what Snow White should have done.
Right.
But he got punished for it.
Yeah, and that's my whole thing too, because and I think that was an oversight on Disney's part. I don't think they meant to make him 11 in the beginning, but then they say, oh, the curse lasted for 10 years and on his 21st birthday, and so that's how you know that he was 11 in the beginning.
But do they show him as a child in that flashback?
Well, no,
not the animated
in that one, they don't show him much at all. He's just a stained glass window figure.
Yeah.
That's correct, yeah.
It's only in the live action that you actually get to see what happened.
Yeah, and that one they're much smarter about. They don't say how old they are. They don't say how long the curse has been there. They just say time has passed.
20. Like he was definitely an adult when it happened.
Yeah.
But we
So,
know the time.
and that is one of the things that I did like about the remake.
They
is
fixed that problem.
they fixed a lot of the plot holes
Yeah.
that are in the original. Because there are, as much as I love the original, there are some plot holes in
Yes,
it.
there are.
And they fixed a lot of those in the remake, which I enjoyed. But that's not the point. The point here is Prince Adam did nothing wrong as a child. He was unfairly persecuted and turned into a beast and left alone.
And then he became bitter and
Yeah.
angry.
Well, yeah, wouldn't you? If you were
Yeah.
alone in the castle with nothing but talking
100%.
furniture,
Also, you
Especially
turned into
when
a
you're-
beast?
you got turned into a giant monster.
Especially as a teenager.
As a teen.
Puberty was rough.
Was not fun for this guy. Oh God, I don't even want to imagine. Oh God, never mind. I don't want this picture in my
Yeah,
head.
so...
What teenage boys do alone in the castle at night?
Of course.
Now that's bestiality.
Yeah, but then all the
But
furniture's
does that count if
watching
he's only doing it to himself? And he's the beast?
That's a great question. I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
Anyways,
Questions that need answering. Here we go.
Disney, we will follow up with questions.
oh my god. Okay,
But yes, okay, so
he's hard to place.
he is. He's a little difficult because it's hard to separate how he was raised, how bitter he got, to how he is at the end of the movie. because he takes a total personality, like a tone shift.
He does.
Well, so did Snape.
No, he didn't.
No, he doesn't.
No, he didn't.
Come on.
No, he did not. Snape was
The
a
whole
monster.
trying to change himself for a girl to make her like him.
Okay, yes, his morals shifted. His personality did not
No,
shift.
he was, yes, okay, but
He was a monster the whole time. He died giving him some memories, but he was still a monster.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in the middle of those two camps, but we're going to move on now.
Well, yeah, but we have to place this guy first.
No, I mean, we have to move on from Snape back to Prince Adam.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. He's.
I don't see him as very cunning or ambitious or manipulative.
Is it a line in the animated version that he read all the books in that library? Or is that just
He doesn't know how to read in the animated version. Belle teaches him how to read, remember?
That's right, she does.
Yeah, no, in the live action, that was the thing too. In the live action, if it was the live action, I would have said Ravenclaw already. We would have moved on. Because in the live action, he's very much bookish, and that's something that they connect on, is that he's read every book in that library. He knows all the quotes. They talk back and forth
not
about
all
books.
Of them. Some of them are in Greek.
Some of them are in Greek. Some of them are in Greek. Yeah, that part was cute. I really liked that.
But they quote poetry together. They do a lot of reading in the garden and stuff together, and it's great. In the live action, live action beasts.
The animated, you mean?
Thank you. Like the animated beast, I'd probably have to.
Here's the thing:
He's
is that
very loyal to Belle once that becomes a thing.
yeah, but I feel like I know where you're going. I feel like he's more Gryffindor than Hufflepuff.
I think he's more Gryffindor than Hufflepuff. Yeah.
The argument still could be made for Ravenclaw on the basis of once he starts learning, he seems to enjoy it.
That's fair.
That could also be attributed to time spent with Belle, but it's hard as an adult to learn to read. That's very difficult, and he committed himself to doing that, and I feel like that is very
But I feel
Ravenclaw.
like his feelings for Belle definitely helped.
They did.
I feel like that is definitely something that helped along with that process, and especially because how smart Belle is, I definitely feel like that made that process a little easier for him. I also think he's very brash, very straightforward, very brave. Again, I'm getting live action animated confused because I don't remember if he attacked a pack of wolves in the animated.
He did.
He straight on took on a pack of wolves to save her.
He did. Yeah, no, he's pretty Gryffindor. He's pretty Gryffindor.
And he jumped in just head first, not even thinking about it. He could have let her die. Because this is before any feelings were even involved.
This
was like the first time he tried to escape.
This is true.
He still saved her.
This is true. That's another thing too, is she voluntarily went back with him after that. Sorry, this is relating back to the whole Stockholm Syndrome thing. She took him back to the castle and fixed him up.
Yeah.
Well,
she felt bad.
And then still was like, I'm still not eating dinner with you though. Like,
yeah, that was great.
I saved you because you saved me, but I'm not eating dinner with you. Bye.
Yeah. Love her. Anyway, so Gryffindor?
I gotta go Gryffindor.
Okay. Mrs. Potts.
She's the best Molly Weasley clone I've ever seen in my life.
Kind of same. I don't really have much more to say than that. Is that all I could think was Molly Weasley
All
the whole
I
time
think
I
of
saw her on
when I
screen?
see this character is Molly Weasley.
Yeah.
All right. Sure.
Did you have anything to add?
I mean, Mrs. Potts isn't like, I don't know, a standout character for me.
I love Chip, and so I have to watch for her.
Yeah, I would agree, Mrs. Weasley.
She's a great mom. She's a very protective and a great mother, trying to keep her child, who is like 8, who likes to jump off of things, but is a cup from shattering all over the ground.
Yeah. She does pour hot tea all over everybody in the fight.
She does, which was hilarious.
Which is great. She's very brave. Yeah. I say Gryffindor.
I gotta go Gryffindor with Miss Potts, yeah.
Okay.
And Chip?
Gryffindor.
Chip's a Gryffindor.
He's a child, sure, but he's a Gryffindor.
Oh my God.
I feel like he's too young to be sorted, but once he got old enough to be sorted, he would be a Gryffindor.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's very active, very I don't care if I die, I'm about to go jump off this staircase real quick, guys.
I loved when he's on the table with what's his name? Oh my God, why am I spacing on his name? Her dad, Belle's dad, and he's like starts talking. Oh, that tickles.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
And you're just like, Chip,
no.
stop.
That's funny. He's like, I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to talk to you. I didn't want to scare you.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, it's no problem. Presses the bolt out of the castle.
Yeah. That was very cute. Maurice. His name's Maurice.
Maurice, thank you. Oh, why can't I think of that?
Yeah.
Gaston says it so much.
He does.
There's a lot of characters in this movie.
There kind of is.
Which
But we're
ones
going
is-
through them quick. So Gryffindor for Chip. Lumiere.
Lumiere.
Lumiere is a Slytherin.
He's definitely a Slytherin.
100%.
He's a romantic ass Slytherin.
He legitimately leads Cogsworth around by the nose through that whole movie.
And he manipulates the Beast and Belle both into falling in love over dinner and music.
They're giving a lot of credit to a candelabra, but sure.
Dude, don't you remember when they're not supposed to feed her and he gives her a secret midnight feast along with a show.
And a goddamn show.
Yes, you're right.
He is so extra, it's
He's
not even
very
funny.
extra.
He's so much.
To be fair, he's French, and making a cuisine for someone in your house
Aren't
is
they
a-
all French?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But like,
He's the only one with the French accent, though.
I know.
he is literally the only one that's like, oh, mademoiselle. And it's like, oh, okay, we're going this far. Got it. Thank you, Ewan McGregor, because I didn't know how much I needed that in my life.
Yeah, no.
It's great, but I gotta go Slytherin. He's
Yeah.
just a really romantic Slytherin.
Okay.
100% for me.
He's a Slytherin in love with the Hufflepuff. Like, that's what this is.
I loved I forgot about his little romance with the feather duster.
Feather duster. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was cute.
Does she even talk?
She talks a little bit, yeah.
Not a lot, but she doesn't do much.
She mostly talks to him about their romance and their forbidden love.
Yeah, they literally just talk about how much they love each other. They can't wait to be human again.
It's very cute. It's very cute.
I love it.
It's very cute. Anyways, Cogsworth. The Ravenclawiest Ravenclaw ever Ravenclaw.
Has never
Her
had
Ravenclaw.
such a Ravenclaw in her house.
Gaston.
Are we
agreeing?
question?
Cogsworth is Ravenclaw?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we about to question the Gaston anything other than a Gryffindor?
Yeah, he's 100% a Gryffindor.
100%.
I'm sorry, is that a question?
Yeah.
And here's the thing too. I just want to throw this out there really quickly. Aside from he's definitely a Gryffindor. Gaston is the scariest Disney character, Disney villain, because Maleficent is super fucking evil. Yes, I have never and will never meet anyone like Maleficent. I have met Gaston in real life.
Fair enough.
I have met this exact fucking character, and he thinks he's the shit. He thinks he's the good guy, and he is scary as fuck.
And yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, Gaston is a Gryffindor, and he is also the scariest Disney villain of all time ever because he is a real person.
Okay.
I mean,
he's
he's happened where people have manipulated entire countries into attacking a people they don't like
Yeah.
just because this person said they should.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he
yeah,
hardcore has an entire poetry of murder and abuse simply because he exists.
yeah.
I think that's a lot darker than what was supposed to be like portrayed through Disney. I just thought he was like someone who was eager to be a hero, to play the hero, to take down the evil beast in the castle that no one's seen.
He's an effing creep, though.
He's creep for sure.
He pushes himself on Belle like multiple times. He's he's bigger than her, and he's stronger than her, and he knows that, and he uses it.
Yeah.
And that's
But
the part.
I feel like, at least from watching it as a kid, it was like, well,
Oh yeah, well, as a kid, you don't see the dark.
you
in
don't.
anything.
No, and like now I'm looking back, you're right, he's a total fucking creep.
Yeah.
But as a kid, it was like, oh, well, he thinks she's playing hard to get. Like, obviously, the girls that are fawning and throwing themselves at him, he doesn't care.
I will say
Because
this
Belle's
as
not
a
interested.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're all as a dude. There are some guys out there who are just like, look, I'm gonna take whatever I can get. So they're gonna take any girl that throws themselves at them. Most dudes definitely want to have to work.
Exactly. And that
But
was
there
it.
is a line that is drawn in the sand that Gaston erased and ran across.
Yeah, he
Yes.
sprinted across.
It's like bolted across that line.
And
No,
here's
I
the thing
agree.
too is when someone not horrible gets turned down, they say okay and they move on.
They move on.
Gaston got violent.
Very much so. He tried to leave Maurice in the forest to be eaten by wolves simply because Maurice wouldn't let him marry his daughter.
Is that in the live action?
Is that in the, I
Oh,
think that's in the
live
live
action?
action. I think that's just in the live action. No, but he still definitely saw he definitely like tried to lock Maurice and Belle away and set their house on fire though.
Yes, he did.
I don't recall that.
Yes, he did.
I do definitely recall that.
Yes, he
Wow,
did. I
you
do remember that. I forgot that. You said the second show. I was like,
Oh,
shit, he
actually,
did. He did.
Yeah, and he's got this girl who he supposedly is in love with, who's saying, no, this beast isn't going to hurt anybody. He's kind, and he's just jealous that she's in love with him.
I must kill him. He is my competition.
Exactly,
If I
and
kill
that's
the
where
beast,
for me,
she will be with me.
and that's where for me he gets very dark and very creepy and very scary. Is where he gets turned down and is immediately his thought turns to violence.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is we sorted him. He goes into Gryffindor.
I'm sorry, Gryffindors, but yeah, y'all got some bad seeds.
He's brash. He's bold. He's going to do what he wants to do.
He is very brave. He is a very brave man.
He is.
But he uses it the wrong way.
Yeah. Okay, LeFou. Hufflepuff.
He is way too goddamn loyal to Gaston to not be a Hufflepuff.
He very much is. He's very loyal to Gaston.
Mostly because he's in love with him.
I mean, yeah, this is true.
They don't show as much in animated as they do in live action. The live action, they go all in on that, and I love it so much.
I
They
remember
picked
reading
the best actor to play LeFou in the live action.
Oh, it was great. It was fantastic.
Because during the Gaston song, you know that part at the end where he's like, oh, too much? A little bit. He literally is like in his arms.
In his lap.
Having him hold him in his arms, and as he looks up at him. And I love every second of it.
Yeah.
What the funny thing is, in the live action, it's like Gaston knows he's in love with him.
And he uses it, yeah.
And uses it.
manipulated.
He's like, oh, I know you love me, but I also feel like Gaston still thinks he's a friend.
Yeah.
I feel like, yes, he uses
thinks
him.
that they're friends.
I definitely think he's like, okay, look, I know you love me, but you're still like my best friend, so let's
Yeah.
keep this going.
So that's, point to Gaston. He's not a homophobic dick. He's just a dick.
Hats off.
Yeah.
Fun fact, too, for Harry, because you haven't seen the live action, in the live action one, they give Gaston and LeFou a backstory of having been to war.
Yes. So at that point, when Gaston is getting really pissed that Maurice won't let him marry Belle, he's about to kill Maurice.
Yeah.
And LeFou hops in front of him and starts like rubbing his temple. He's like, go back to good times, go back to the war, it's okay.
What?
And he calms him down.
Okay.
Yeah.
They give them backstory in the live action and it's great, but they also give LeFou a cross-dressing boyfriend dance with at the end of the movie, and it's beautiful.
They do. It's pretty great. I loved Stanley.
It was great. But yeah, it's actually, the live action isn't as bad as you think. It's just, I like it. I do. They do a lot of stuff better than the animated, but they also do some stuff that could, like casting, that could have been better.
Also, they made this big deal about how they were going to have an LGBT character in the movie and then showed a half a second of them dancing together and acting all surprised about it.
Well, to be fair, they were both still very gay throughout the rest of the movie.
They were very gay throughout the rest
Just
of the
not
movie.
for each other at that moment.
I did love Stanley. By the way, for the record, he does not have an official name. Everyone just calls him Stanley because he's in the song where they go, any Tom, Dick, or Stanley, he gets pointed at him. So he's unofficially Stanley.
I'm like, who the fuck is Stanley?
He's the guy that gets clothes thrown on him. And so, in the part where they attack the castle, the wardrobe, I forgot her name.
Oh, I don't remember.
The wardrobe shoots a bunch of clothes at, like...
And this is live action.
This is live action.
They shoot a bunch of clothes at, like, three of the thugs.
It's Tom, Dick, and Stanley.
It's Tom, Dick, and Stanley. They get a bunch of clothes on them. They look like women, right? Mm-hmm. Two of them look down, scream, and run up the castle. One of them looks down and is like, I'm gonna flaunt this. I look great. And that's Stanley.
Isn't that also very French, though?
Yes.
Well, yes.
But,
But I love it.
modern day lens.
Okay.
And I love that. Anyways, okay, last character in Beauty and the Beast, who I added on last second because I forgot about him.
How
I'm sorry.
dare you? But I don't get to throw in a couple characters. How dare you?
Well, because I forgot, because Maurice. We have to talk about Maurice.
What's the horse's name?
Okay, but Maurice, how did you forget to put her father in? He's a very important character in the story.
I put a lot of names on here, okay? I forget things. We all know I'm forgetful.
That's fair.
Maurice, I feel like, is a Ravenclaw.
He's an inventor.
He is. He's an inventor. And he's... There's not really much more to him, honestly.
He's an inventor. He's a
He
good
loves
father.
his daughter.
Loves his daughter.
He's very eccentric. He made me think Xenophilius Lovegood.
I see a little bit of Xenophilius. I also see Well, no. Yeah, I think Xanadu is the best one. Yeah.
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 I agree.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.